to the next slide. That's how we understood that this is the kind of gap that is there which needs to be solved. I think I'll stop the wo. ठीक है. So you can't. ठीक है. तो this was the thought behind it कि यार companies की requirement है, hiring की एक challenge है, बहुत बड़ा है. The customers बोल रहा हूँ, the applicants, people like you are struggling on one end कि यार प्रिपरेशन कैसे करनी है, क्या पढ़ना है, कुछ क्लैरिटी नहीं है. यूट्यूब पे इतना सारा माल है, इतना सारा. जैसे आपके दोस्तों
नेट खोलो
लेने भैया ले जो ना भैया जो चार्ज खत्म हो गया.
not being correctly. The companies are on the other hand are also struggling finding the right kind of talent. FunctionUp came in, said key, let's build a finishing school. Let's try to bridge that kind of a skill gap that is there in the industry. We'll take up candidates who have coding experience, who don't have coding experience, because it doesn't matter. It is all about simply building up the kind of logic and applying it while solving problems. There are a few skills that you need. There are a few understanding of languages, understanding of systems, right? Once you have all of that, it's not that difficult. So let's try to train people. The model is such that we don't charge anything upfront, right? Because like our education system does, it just adds to the financial burden, existing financial burden that you have. Probably your parents might have taken up a loan, or you might have given some hefty fees, right? Colleges ki fees, by the way, are going beyond imaginations, right? मेरा तो government college था. I was fortunate कि a lot of my family wealth was saved, right? But a lot of people pay for engineering degrees. MBA used to be expensive, right? Today engineering degrees, BCA degrees, BSc degrees, these are super. BR by the way also, these are super expensive. 15 16 20 lakh रुपए का कुछ colleges कर रहे हैं. A lot of private colleges also, right? And so we understood कि if we add onto that financial burden, how are we different from colleges, right? We are also doing the same kind of work, right? So we brought in accountability into the system, right? You pay nothing, you get the training. Once you become successful, once you have your job, once you start earning, भाई कोई जो बोल रहा था, वो दिलीप बोल रहा था कि भाई बैंक में पैसे आने चाहिए, उसके बाद बात करेंगे, ठीक है? So that is the model that we operate on. That's when you get your first salary in hand. Average packages, these are things that are always fluctuating because depending on the market scenario and multiple factors, number of companies visiting and what kind of packages they are offering. That's a different discussion altogether. But this is overall from past 13, 14 cohorts that we have seen, right? This is the kind of packages that we see with a minimum of 5 LPA. And then there is fifth point mentioned on the screen, which is the last point, which is not that important probably for you right now. It might not seem very important right now, but it is damn important. That lifelong mentorship, even today, a lot of our candidates who graduated last January, right? They reach out to us and say, ki, sir, I'm finding problems with my current job, right? The kind of, tech is always evolving. So company ke tech mein bhi always growth hoti rehti hai. So what they face challenges are I'm not able to cope up with the kind of requirement that there is. I probably need like an upgraded training, right? I probably lost my job. My startup is shut. What do I do? Right. In that case, we provide them with the referrals, more interviews, right? So these are top-notch services that we are giving for free for all our alumni, right? So that relationship, it's not going to be a transactional. जैसे I'll not name a lot of companies, but बहुत सारी ऐसी edtech companies है जो coding सिखाएंगी, आपको certificate देंगी, आपसे पैसे ले लेंगी, and it's done and dusted, हो गया अपना काम. फिर वो सर्टिफिकेट से आपको जॉब मिल रही है तो अच्छी बात है. सर्टिफिकेट पे आप मूंगफली रख के शाम को खा रहे हो, चाय पी रहे हो, कुछ नहीं हुआ उसका सर्टिफिकेट का, तो लॉस ही लॉस है. So that should not be happening, right? We should have that kind of a relationship all throughout life, right? Moving on, the kind of promises that we give, the kind of a lot of people were curious about कि यार ये होता कैसे, right? Job की हम लोग ने बात कर ली. Then there is 1,000+ hours of live coding happening. Live coding कैसे होता है? Monday को जब हम लोग मिलेंगे, right? There would be a schedule also shared with you in the morning so that you can plan your day ahead. But मंडे को मैं जस्ट गिविंग यू अ ग्लिम्स कि मंडे को क्या होगा. फर्स्ट कुछ लोगों का इंप्रेशन रहता है कि फर्स्ट डे है, थोड़ा सा ऐसे हंसी मजाक होगा, मेंटर आएंगे, बातें करेंगे, ठीक है. फिर हम लोग जो है वो जैसे स्कूल और कॉलेजेस में होता है कि हम लोग शॉल दे रहे हैं अपने स्पेशल गेस्ट को, और ये वो ऐसे ऐसे कुछ तामझाम नहीं होगा, ठीक है. वी गेट ऑन टू द टॉपिक, we'll attack the topic from day one. We'll learn something, we'll have an assignment towards the end of the day, we'll have to complete it the same day, and that is going to be your routine for the next 4 months. This is your routine. System के आगे बैठना है, मेरा काम ये है पढ़ना, whatever resources are required मैं उसको देखूंगा. There would be an assignment, I'll solve for it. बीच में लंच ब्रेक ये वो मिलता है, डोंट वरी. अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल क्वेश्चन दिस कि यार भाई खाने दोगे कि नहीं. यस, लंच ब्रेक्स, डिसेंट ब्रेक्स, ब्रीदर के लिए थोड़ा सा ब्रेक्स, all of that is there, right? Next thing is on the soft skill training bit, right? A lot of people take this in a very easy way, right? Take this for granted कि यार I know tech, I'm able to solve whatever lead code problems are there, coding मेरी हो जाती है, right? अब हो गया मेरा काम, ठीक है. But no, if you're not able to explain it to someone, that's absolutely मतलब you're as good as a person who doesn't know anything, right? And second thing is if you're not able to crack interviews, right, तो फिर तो हो गया क्या, अपना knowledge लेके जाएंगे कहाँ. Interview training, soft skill training is going to be super critical, and that's what we focus on since I think week 2 से या week 3 से. There are regular sessions happening for communications training. Interviews कैसे attend करने हैं, किस question को किस तरीके से जवाब देना है, how do we set expectations with the companies, right? All of that is discussed. Then there is one thing mentioned which is real life projects, right? Projects पे बहुत extensive focus होता है. There's 1 month of your life you're going to dedicate specifically to projects, right? You're going to work on implementing some of the products that you might have yourself used, right? Facebook सबने use करा हुआ है, Quora सबने use करा हुआ है. We have also used Flipkart, right? These are some of the few names of the products that you would be building, मतलब इनका replicas, right? You'd be building like completely purely, logic is yours. उसमें क्या होना है, क्या authentication लगना है, किसी का maybe Lakshmi is not able to log in into Pranali's account, right? That security check, all of that logic is going to be built by you and you only, right? No mentor is going to help you code, right? Then towards the end of the program, there are going to be job interviews and referrals. Last thing is there are only like specifically 2 things that I take extreme pride in when I associate myself with FunctionUp. That is the kind of projects that we do, because there is a super helpful in understanding how it happens, right? A textbook can tell you what needs to be done, right? But through projects, what you are able to explore is how it is happening in actual life, real life. फ्लिपकार्ट के ऑफिस में कोडर क्या सोच रहा है, what is he thinking, right? That is something that you understand. So that is one thing I'm super proud about when I talk about FunctionUp with anyone. Second is the mentor pool, right? These are mentors coming in from top companies, right, and top colleges, and they have done it themselves. It's not like a, I'm sorry, but it's not like a college professor coming in whose job is to teach people coding, right? उसको पैसे मिल रहे हैं coding पढ़ाने के, तो उसकी क्वालिटी में इधर उधर रह सकता है. This person who's a mentor, whose responsibility is to code every single day, he comes and he tells you कि यार एक्चुअली इंडस्ट्री में कैसे चल रहा है, मेरे स्टार्टअप में अभी क्या चल रहा है, how I am coding, what kind of a catch-ups do we do, what is the level of discussion, right? That gives you window into the corporate कि अच्छा this is the kind of culture that I have to adapt myself to. This is what is going to happen after like 4-5 months from here on, right? 5th February we're sitting here. 4-5 months from now on, I'll be working in a corporate, right? Uh, that kind of a window when you get with a mentor, it's super engaging, it's super interesting. Also, that is a skill that you learn which will be helpful, right? FunctionUp graduates stand out when they go out and they compare themselves with someone who has come in from colleges, campus hiring, or LinkedIn, kahin aur source se aaya hai, right? That's the kind of advantage, right? So I think this is more or less what we have covered in detail in the last slide. But the kind of this one specific detail is the live classes that are going to happen from 10 to 7. You're expected to have your system be available, have internet connection. If you don't have Wi-Fi, I would highly recommend that. But that is going to be your life. Multiple different sessions. ऐसा नहीं है कि बस like something like me कि मैं बोले जा रहा हूँ ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं होने वाला है, right? There are going to be lectures in this format for like a couple of hours, and then it is going to be a very interactive session with your mentors, with your TAs, amongst yourselves, right? Then towards the end of the day, we'll do a doubt session to maybe help resolve any doubt you had in the assignments, or have these are mentors coming in to solve for those doubts. Projects we talked about. There's mentorship, one-to-one, and then group session also. And you get on your projects that you build or on the assignments that you build, right? You get feedback. What can be done? What could have been done? If you've used certain logic, why did you use it, right? And to give you a context, this is the exact same discussion that you're going to have